For every 1,000 aspiring movie actors and actresses out there, there are probably about 100 wannabe movie directors and producers. One low-budget movie company in Spokane is working on moving to the big leagues of Hollywood.
This is insane.
Hi, my name is Wayne Spitzer, filmmaker and presently a writer mostly. I grew up here in Spokane, Washington. You know, I think I first became interested in cinema and film by going to the drive-in theater with my parents as a kid. I remember distinctly the first thing I ever thought about in terms of making movies, and it was the scene in 1,000,000 Years BC when the pterodactyl picks up Raquel Welch and lifts her off the sand. And I believe it takes her up to its nest and drops her among its eggs, or tries to. And I remember wondering, how did they do that? When I first started making films when I was about, 14 years old, I worked in Super 8. We used Super 8 film. And the wonderful thing about shooting on Super 8 is that it transformed whatever you were filming. I mean, when you threaded it into your Super 8 projector and projected it onto the wall, because it was going to look, however grainy, it was going to look something like the Raiders of the Lost Ark. It was going to have that same texture to it, unlike video. And so that transformative effect, and that was one of the first things that got me addicted to filmmaking, was seeing things transformed in that kind of magical way.
It's tough to break into the big-time movie business, but these guys hope to become the next Steven Spielbergs of the sci-fi genre.
You know, Dead of Night, we were essentially just having fun.
You may not be real, but you sure fight like you're real. Oh, weapon now, huh?
It was always intended to be a low-budget, somewhat cheesy science fiction program of the type you might find on PBS back in the day. We did things on that show that I can't imagine filmmakers doing today. For example, we filmed an episode of Dead of Night at the Intermodal, at the train station by downtown Spokane, with real guns, without any planning. We all worked as security guards at the time, which gave us access to a lot of great locations. Literally one time we had access, because that was our post. I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm going to. We had access to an entire factory. I mean, this thing was beautiful. It was huge. And we literally went in there, and we didn't, let's see, would that constitute breaking and entry? And we filmed in there all night long. We would come up with simple gags.
Damn, can't kill him.
We bought a bunch of beach balls or a bunch of balls from a Walmart or something, and spray painted them gold. And with almost all the shots you see fired on Dead of Night were with real guns, with live ammunition, if you can believe that. And so we literally shot that episode with live ammunition. I'm surprised somebody didn't get, their head blown off. Shadows in the Garden began as an attempt to basically improve on a lot of what I felt were mistakes that we made with Dead of Night and earlier cable access projects. It was an attempt, along with Andy Coupon's Last Stop Station, to make the best short films we could. It didn't involve many actors. It was centered around this creature, which I knew I could build, and the beauty of it being a creature is that anybody could be in the costume. So it was an interchangeable role. And the only other character was a female who spends most of the story asleep, And so it was a short story I'd written years ago as a young man. And but when I looked at it, I thought, we could do this. And we could make a nice atmospheric little piece. And it's something we can do. And even, back then, even recording dialogue often, it caused us headaches because we had such a hard time recording quality sound on set. And so I thought with the Shadows in the Garden project, I thought, well, here we go. We can do this short, be high on atmospherics. It'll rain throughout, so we'll have Foley. We'll have rain, the breathing of the animal, some music, obviously. But it won't be so dependent on dialogue. I think there's one line of dialogue in the entire film when the not-so-threatening-looking killer says, "Well, come on!" to the monster, and the monster strides towards him. But that was the only line of dialogue in the whole film. Filmmaking and writing, they're definitely two different beasts. For myself, I eventually, because I had started out as a writer, so I love the process. I control all the content. I control the covers. I do the covers myself. And so I've kind of found a second career doing that. And some of them are selling and making a little bit of money, and it's been a wonderful experience. So, to all you young filmmakers out there, just keep up the good fight. Never let your creative side wither on the vine, because if you're a creative person, that aspect is a vital part of who you are.